Hi, it's Ileana here, and today I am going to be discussing getting actionable data from hypnosis sessions. So, I was very lucky that for myself, how I got my data about the holographic medical pods, that you can cure diseases with them, and that you can regenerate limbs. This information all came from my hypnosis sessions, self-hypnosis, because these holographic medical pods, this technology comes from the cybernetics labs on planetary corporations. So basically, again, it allows to cure any types of diseases, multiple sclerosis, Alzheimer's, cancer. You get into the holographic medical pod, it's automated, and what I've suspected for the longest time is that it runs on plasma technology. A portion of it is on plasma because everything in the environment, all living things have plasma in it. So I suspect it's based on plasma technology as part of whatever it's made out of. Because it's made out of nanotechnology, from what I remember in my sessions, and also plasma and other components, technological components. Now, again, I don't have access to the schematics from my memories. Maybe it's in there, maybe it's not, because I didn't go deep searching for schematics in my memories. I was the end user. What I went in to look for is the usability of the holographic medical pods. What can they do and why? And the main function is to look at your genetic profile when you're in the holographic medical pod. There is AI computer technology, holographic technology that's attached to the pod. It scans your whole genome sequence in your DNA, and if there's like any abnormalities or mutations or any diseases that are genetically caused, it reverts you back to genetically. It looks for a different profile of your genes that's in the online databases themselves, because this is all holographic again. You see it holographically on the screen. The pod is connected to the holographic AI system. So you see it on the screen, it scans you, and it tells you what's your current genetic profile, if there's any mutations, abnormalities, diseases that are mutationally caused. And then it looks in the database, because when you're an SSP asset, your DNA profile is in the scan. Your pure DNA profile is in the scan. The most healthiest DNA profile that they have about you is in their database. So, if you've basically they take, even if you had a flawed DNA profile before, they take it and they do gene editing. So if something happened to your gene profile, your current one, and there's some kind of a de novo mutation or something that's not perfect in it, they do take your original DNA profile that is perfect and clean, whether that's originally healthy or it's been gene edited to be the healthiest it can be. They take that overlay and put it in to the AI programming to repair and sequence DNA in the pods, in the holographic medical pods. And if you need limbs regenerated, tissue, scars removed, the holographic medical pod will do that. It also heals trauma, memories, brain diseases. Could virtually heal anything within a few minutes of being in the pod. It also does surgery. So some of these holographic medical pods, they do have lasers and lenses. So not all of them are the same. Some are pure plasma, you get into the holographic medical pod, and it's a chamber, and it has plasma energy running all over it. It's a tubular type pod. So it's pure plasma technology, and it heals that way. And there's other holographic medical pods that have lasers and lenses, refractory lenses and lasers that do different types of surgery. And then once the surgery's done, it's always keyhole, laparoscopic. Once the surgery's done, then the pod basically rescans you and takes away it closes you up, so there's no scars. There's no physical evidence left that you ever had surgery in the first place. And again, this is all done automatically with pre-programmed settings. So there is a human doing the pre-programming if surgery is needed in one of these pods. But and they'll be monitoring it remotely in another room or another base, but they're not always there presently. They're not doing the surgery by hand. The pod is doing the surgery. So there's that type of a pod. And there's also stasis pods that keep you in stasis and alive, monitoring your vital signs and stuff. And those are basically stasis units pods. So there's different sorts of pods, and all of them have the capability of bringing you back from the dead. That's another capability of these holographic medical pods. So it could literally as well do age regressing. All of these pods have that capability. Say you were like in your 80s and you get into the pod and it reverses the aging process. Literally taking you back through 0 point, reversing the telomeres, the aging of the telomeres and all your body cells in the body, tissue cells. It regenerates everything and brings you back from your 80s to your 20s, and you're in perfect health. So those holographic medical pods do that as well. They can make you perfectly healthy, bring you back from the dead, regenerate limbs. Again, based on DNA sequencing, it can regrow limbs, organs. Heck, it can regrow a head, eyes, anything that's needed to be regrown, it can. So, and there's also memory Ingram stations that are like holographic medical pods, or the technology can be embedded in the holographic medical pod to erase fractured memories, to erase trauma, to reprogram the brain with new memories. So that's also available through the holographic medical pods or the memory Ingram stations themselves that are separate from it. These memory Ingram stations can also scan your mind and access your memories from past lifetimes as ETs and humans or whatever, and extract and extrapolate important data about advanced technologies, how other extraterrestrials live on planets, space travel, vessels, medical technology, anything and everything. They can access your memories through the memory Ingram stations. So the technology is 200 years more advanced from what I can tell when I was working in the cybernetics labs. But I was using biological drug serums, which can also keep you young, reverse the aging process. So it's not just holographic medical pods that are available. This could also be done through drug serums. They can reverse the aging process. They can transform you into different looking ETs. They can literally alter you on the biological scale, metabolic scale, with different types of drug serums to make you look like somebody else, ET, human, whatever. So that can be done. And for me, the biological drug serums were used to deliver plasma therapies for me to keep the migraines and Hashimoto's encephalopathy under control on Mars. when I was in the SSP service. So, and I know that the holographic medical pods are based on plasma technology is because I tried plasma therapy myself, the subcutaneous immunoglobulin therapy, and it basically it restarted my autoimmune system and it boosted it as well. So it helped to remove the paralysis. It helped to, remove, it's lessened the paralysis effects, and it's lessened it to the point where it's less painful for me physically. And it's helped to relieve some of the migraine, whereas I don't have double blurry vision every day anymore. It still happens, but not every day, thankfully. So the plasma therapy has also worked on my allergies, so it's easier for me to breathe and eat food again. I'd say it's about 50 to 70% health improvement to what it was before. So plasma therapy is key to reversing some of the damage to the body, the autoimmune system. I had also inflammation in my brain with white matter lesions, and that's gone, thankfully. I hope I never have white matter disease again. So plasma therapy has helped me, and that came out of the hypnosis as well. So for me, what's important out of hypnosis is getting actionable data on information, on medical information, technology information, and how that can be used in the here and now, in the real world. What's the application? How can you apply it to what's here on Earth, the equivalency? For me, that's plasma therapy. Biological drug serums on Mars, that's plasma therapy, and here on Earth, it's also plasma therapy. It might be different, because on Mars, it's synthesized, it's replicated with replicators. Here on Earth, it's from human blood products, but it's still plasma. It's different plasma antibodies that counteract the damage, cellular damage of the autoimmune system attacking itself, because that's what Hashimoto's encephalopathy does. It attacks the healthy antibodies in someone's body, and for Hashimoto's encephalopathy, that happens to be thyroperoxidase antibodies. That's what it attacks, and it makes it into a dirty byproduct. So it's not healthy antibodies anymore, and they have to be cleansed, and that's done with the plasma therapy. So you have clean antibodies in your running in your system again for thyroid, healthy thyroid function, and healthy brain function and body function overall. So I basically reset my autoimmune system and then boosted it. So that's what I managed to do with plasma therapy, as well as get rid of the inflammation in my body. That's been shown on the MRI scans, because in the beginning 2017 I had white matter lesions, and in 2019 I didn't anymore. So I've medically proven that my experiment with plasma therapy did work based on my hypnosis notes. And in all my presentations and videos and interviews, everything I present about biological drug serums and cybernetics labs and holographic medical pods, that all comes from my hypnosis notes, including the basis for my plasma therapy, all based on hypnosis regression. So, everybody asks me, can you get the technical schematics for how to make holographic medical pods? I was the end user, so I don't know if I have it or not. I would have to do more in-depth hypnosis, I suspect, to see if that info is there or not. But again, I look for medical proof of something, for proof of concept, proof of life. Proof of concept means that I can basically provide medical evidence that the plasma therapy worked on me. The blood work came back with the thyroperoxidase levels lowering when I got the plasma therapy done. And the MRI results showed I didn't have any more inflammation in my brain and no white matter lesions. So that's proof enough for me that plasma therapy does work well. And physically, my symptoms are improved, health symptoms. Like my vision is better, it's clear, it's not blurry every day. My memory has greatly improved. I have photographic memory, and I had to write everything down to the littlest thing, like people's names, locations, blah blah blah. I had to write all of that down. I still write things down, but I can still remember what I wrote down. So memory has improved, and that's the biggest one. I've gotten my photographic memory back, and I need that. That's important to me. So, and that's the huge reason why I started plasma therapy. And as well, I stopped coughing because I had chronic coughing. That stopped. I don't feel like chest tightness anymore here, like this like wheezing sensation, like something stuck in my throat. So the plasma therapy worked for that as well. The interesting thing about Mars and their technology that's 200 years more advanced than what's here on Earth is that biological drug serums are synthesized. You don't have to process the plasma. You don't have to separate it out of the blood itself. It's synthesized, and they can synthesize different antibodies for whatever medical condition you have to fix it, whether on a temporary scale or a permanent scale. With me, they decided to make me dependable on the plasma therapy and get it done every 3 months to get it dermally injected under my skin. So, but there are permanent biological drug serums that remove the disease. So, but they just made me dependable on the drug serum in order to keep me working on Mars in the cybernetics labs. So I was dependent on the treatment. But it's delivered much faster than here on Earth, and it's synthesized quickly because of the replicators. And the holographic medical pods, again, they basically eradicate disease and make you healthy in 3 minutes or less sometimes. And there's different types of holographic medical pods and plasma technology as well, and regenerative medicine. So I just wanted to discuss the differences. And some of these holographic medical pods also have mimetic gel. So if it's not based completely on the plasma technology, the mimetic gel takes away the scars and the burns. So there's older versions of these holographic medical pods in different stages that the programs have. Not all the SSP programs have the same advanced technology. Planetary Corporations usually has the most advanced versions of plasma technology and the medical pods and portable Meditech units. They build all the greatest and latest, because they're not dependent on ETs to give them the advanced technology. They're advanced in themselves. So, and they're the most advanced SSP faction out there for technology. Building medical stuff and building ships and drugs. You name it, they've done it and keep on improving and making better upgrades to it. So I thought I'd discuss that a little bit more in more detail and talk about it. So thank you so much, and namaste.